Nigerian this, Nigerian that. You're never going to have a fair trial. Nigeria is known for this internet fraud. And we want to change the image of Nigeria, and it starts with the leaders. And the leaders have already told the media not to cover this stuff. A lot of the mainstream media are not covering it. Even the national broadcasters may not even. Nobody has this story. It's not good for the image of Nigeria, but we have a bigger picture. Young people in Nigeria are almost every day doing internet fraud. Hushpuppi is not the only one. There has been people before him. We have Obiwani Okeke, who's serving 10 years now. He was facing 30 years and he did a plea deal as well. The same kind of BEC scams. We have Olunloyo Woodbury, who is still facing trial in Chicago. He is in the prison at Metropolitan Correction Center, MCC, in Chicago. I've been bringing you these stories. Now, we have Hushpuppi, who is with the U.S. Marshals. The U.S. Marshals are the law enforcement agency that have the very dangerous fugitives. I mean, they keep people like cartel leaders, big drug dealers, assassins, name it. People who have ways of escaping. People who have ways of making tunnels through prison and escaping. Really bad fugitives, dangerous ones. Now, has Hushpuppi ever killed somebody? Not that I know of, but he's considered dangerous because of the amount of money that was taken out of several businesses' accounts. At press time last year, we had about $490 million. And right now, sources of the FBI are telling me close to $700 million. That's a lot of money. If we have to change that to Nigerian money, that's a lot of money. Well, let's talk about exactly how it all happened. BEC is a simple internet scam that turned into an elaborate heist. They get into the computer of a business. They trick the business into sending them money. But it's not just that. When they hack into the computer, they stay in that computer for 3 weeks at least. They don't steal the money right away. They look at the activity of the company. Who is sending money out from the finance department? Who's ordering the money to be sent out? The CEO. When they see the emails going between one department to another, they study, sometimes they create a website for the company, a cloned website, looks like the same. Sometimes they clone the email. They began assuming identity of the people in the finance department and also the CEO. So you find the finance department and the CEO talking to each other, but it's not the real ones, it's the fake ones. The hackers are very good at this. It's become more elaborate as time went on. At the end of the day, Caleb Alomari hooked up with Hushpuppi somewhere down the line and created a huge heist. And they had people working for them. Alomari had his boys, Hushpuppi had his boys. 12 of them were arrested in Dubai with Hushpuppi. A total of 11 and 12. 2 were taken to America, Hushpuppi and Woodbury. The others were held in Dubai. One was just released and came back to Nigeria. His name is Sikiru, and Pac is his, nickname. Pac talked about the story of how he was incarcerated for a year, the pains, the hassle, and at the end of the day, he's back in Lagos. Now, once this money is coming out, okay, for some reason, I knew that Hushpuppi was not a hacking expert. Okay, when the EFCC and the Nation newspaper reported that he's wanted in Nigeria for being a hacker, he doesn't hack computers. He just launders the money. Now, with this kind of revelation, we cannot use non-affirmative words anymore. He has agreed to plead guilty, so he's a fraudster. He's a scammer. I can't call him alleged or reportedly anymore. So once he's sentenced, that'll happen. Now, I told you I'll tell you the sentencing date. He might be sentenced in October. That's his next court date. So I believe sentencing is in October. So for now, July, August, September, he's chilling still with the marshals. But he has agreed to plead guilty. And that's what they call a plea deal. Now, he was facing 30 years. With the plea deal, he will be sentenced to up to 20 years. He's facing up to 20 years, so 10 years is gone there. Hushpuppi is 38 years old now. If he gets 20 years, he will be coming out when he's 58. Okay, that's still a good, healthy age. I'm going to be 57. If he gets 10 years, he'll be coming out at 48. At the end of the day, it boils down to a lot of other problems. Once he comes out, he'll be deported from the United States with a lot of stipulations. I mean, look what happened to Obi Okeke. Obi cannot open a bank account anywhere near the United States. Obi cannot do financial transactions with any company in the United States. Obi cannot do this. Obi cannot do that. It is a lot. A lot. I mean, what's the point? I am looking to ask the FBI and the prosecuting lawyers if he will get any form of parole. Will he be getting any kind of parole? If they push for parole, his own lawyers, I don't even know who's representing him, but I'm hearing that he now has a state lawyer because money has finished. This is what I'm hearing on that end. A state lawyer, an American lawyer representing him for free. I'm trying to get in touch with a prosecuting lawyer, and also I need to know what country he will be deported into. This is very important in what I'm saying, because when you commit a crime in America, okay, most drug crimes in America, let's say some Nigerians do drugs, and when they go to prison in America, 7 years. After 7 years, they deport them back to Nigeria. Where is Hushpuppi going to be deported to? He doesn't have a Nigerian passport. It's expired, and he renounced it. He has a passport from St. Nevis and Kitts. St. Nevis and Kitts is an island in the Caribbean. A very, 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 what's the word I'm looking for? Exotic island. Now, St. Nevis and Kitts, his passport was an investment passport. There are countries that will give you a passport if you want to invest in that country, and St. Nevis and Kitts is one of them. You pay them $130,000, $150,000. That's small money for Hushpuppi, considering the amount of money he reportedly stole. So he bought one of their passports. I've contacted their government, and their government spokesman should get my message and get back to me. I contacted a journalist in St. Nevis and Kitts who told me that there's a possibility that Hushpuppi's passport may be revoked. Passports are still the property of a government, and that they'll give him his cash back. They'll give him his money back, his $150K, and then they'll take their passport because they don't want the publicity. They don't want the negative PR. I mean, imagine somebody just spending 20 years in prison for all this kind of BC scam. They deport them to their country, their nice little island. Nobody wants to go to that island now. You know what I mean? Because he's carrying their passport. So if that were to happen, Hushpuppi doesn't have a country. Where would he go? Technically, he's still Nigerian unless he actually renounced that citizenship beyond like tearing that passport on Instagram when he showed us. You know what I mean? So there's a lot to think about. The parole, he may not get it because it's a financial crime. I don't know who's bigger, Bernard Madoff of the Ponzi scheme or Hushpuppi. It's a very sad situation. Being with the Marshals, they have a place in Florida, they have one in Colorado. I understand the one in Colorado is underground bunkers. Imagine another country under the ground. Cars moving, everything. Can you imagine? Under the ground. The one in Florida is in the middle of the water. U.S. Marshals. You can't even sail out of there on a boat. You jump into the water, sharks will kill you. And if the Marshals have to bring somebody up there or leave, a helicopter will come down on that island and will leave. That's how they leave and come. You can't escape. This is how it is. If you want to do Yahoo, Hushpuppi went to the U.S. Embassy to get a visa around 2007. They denied him. He scattered the place. Today he's in America without a visa. Think well before you get into Yahoo. Okay? There is an FBI attaché in Nigeria now at the U.S. Embassy. Think well before you get into this stuff. It is more complicated than you know. Woodbury is on suicide watch twice. I have information no other media has. Tomorrow I'll be on Arise News. I will be talking at 10 a.m. with the crew at Arise, the team, the morning show. And when I get on that morning show, I'm going to be talking about Abino, Prince Abino fire, and the implications of that in the bigger picture. And I will also be talking about Hushpuppi and these implications. Now, this video, share it. If you want to download this video, put it on your page, and bloggers, credit me. If you don't credit me, I'll flag your page and Instagram will disable it. My content is premium. Okay, for those of you in the media that don't want to post anything from me, stay there and be watching me. You know yourselves, mainstream papers, they want to wait for a proper announcement from the big media in America. Google it, it's not there yet. Even BBC is calling me. You know what I mean? Hushpuppi is facing up to 20 years in prison. He has agreed to plead guilty. There was a question about what if he doesn't agree again, changes his mind. Very unlikely. Okay? And I believe the key to this, one of my sources at the FBI, the key to this was really greed. When Alomari was arrested coming out of the plane, that phone call that he made when he was eating dinner with Daddy Freeze, and he had to go pick up that phone call. That was the phone call, the Alomari phone call. And Alomari was arrested at the airport and they kept him. He wasn't talking still, but the money that Alomari hacked, last money he hacked was COVID money, $100 million. That $100 million, 70%, I believe, belonged to Alomari and his boys. 30% money laundering fee, Hushpuppi. They've already captured Alomari. Alomari's boys are asking Hushpuppi for the $70 million. Hushpuppi double-crossed them. That's what my own FBI source told me. Maybe they've catch Alomari. Oh, let me double-cross all this guy. Let's end that Yahoo here. I'm rich enough now, Abi. That's what your boy did do. Hushpuppi. Ologbowo. O believe pé tó wọ́n ti mú ẹni tó ń bá ṣiṣẹ́, wọ́n ti mú yẹn. Ìwọ wá keep gbogbo owó yẹn. O mọ̀ pé àwọn boys ẹ̀ ní Romania hackers wọ́n ti pè FBI. Hey, àwọn náà pè FBI, àwọn náà snitch on Hushpuppi. Greed, ọjọ́ gbogbo ntòlè, ọjọ́ kan ntòlóhùn, every day for the thief, one day for the owner. Those Alomari boys are the ones that tipped the FBI off, and they started surveillance with him. Google, Apple, everybody helped, and they tracked him to Palazzo Versace and arrested him. Plus, ó ti display gbogbo wealth ayé ìtàn lórí Instagram. You know, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá ṣe nǹkan burúkú tẹ́ ń jalè, ẹ tún wá flash ẹ lórí Instagram, and yín ṣe mí. You know what I mean? Ọmọ ó lágbára.